You've probably tried to catch them with your eyes, those tiny specks and strands that drift across your vision. But what are you actually seeing when you chase these phantom shapes, and why can't you ever quite focus on them? For something so common, eye floaters are surprisingly misunderstood. Many of us assume these visual disturbances are on the surface of our eye, or perhaps tiny bits of dust floating in front of our vision. But the truth is, floaters are much more intimate. They're actually inside your eye. To understand them, we need to look at the eye's internal structure. Most of your eyeball is filled with a clear, jelly-like substance called the vitreous humor. Think of it like a perfectly transparent gelatin, holding the eye's shape and allowing light to pass through to the retina at the back. When we're young, this vitreous is firm and uniform, nearly crystal clear. But as we age, this vitreous humor naturally begins to change. The firm, uniform jelly starts to liquefy, becoming more watery. Within this jelly are tiny, fine collagen fibers that crisscross to maintain its structure. As the vitreous liquefies, these delicate fibers can break apart and clump together. When light enters your eye, these tiny clumps cast shadows onto your retina, the light-sensitive tissue at the very back of your eye. What you perceive as a floater is not the object itself, but the shadow it casts. This is why their appearance can vary so much, from dots and squiggles to threads or even cobwebs. And this internal origin is also why you can never focus on them. Your floaters are inside the eye, essentially floating with your eye. When you try to look directly at one, your eye moves, and the floater simply drifts along with the vitreous fluid, always staying just out of the sharpest part of your central vision. It's like trying to grab a piece of lint inside a sealed jar of water. It moves as the jar moves. For most people, floaters are a normal, harmless, and common part of the aging process. However, a sudden increase in the number of floaters, especially if accompanied by flashes of light or a loss of peripheral vision, can sometimes signal a more serious underlying issue like a retinal tear or detachment. If you experience such sudden changes, it's always best to consult an eye care professional. So the next time you spot one of these elusive shadows, will you appreciate the microscopic dance happening inside your own eye?